Happy New Year! It's 2024, and you know what that means. It's prediction time. So, it's time to make our guess on what's going to happen in the real estate market for the new year. And while nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen, it's always fun to take a guess at what the market will hold for the new year. So first, let me welcome you to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is lor.vang, and I am a real estate agent in the greater Milwaukee area with 5 years of experience as an agent and 15 as a real estate investor. So as I mentioned, nobody actually does know what's going to go on with the market, and this is not professional financial advice or anything like that. However, it's always fun to have a prediction, and that way you at least have some kind of game plan, how to strategize, right? And how to take action should things actually go the way that we predict. All right, so with that out of the way, in order for us to predict what's going to happen in 2024, we need to take a quick step back and look at what happened in 2023. And believe it or not, this same time in 2023, January, the rates were sitting at about the same position, around 6.5 to 6.75. And the only difference was that back then, rates started increasing month after month after month. We went from that point at 6.5 to 7, 7.5, and eventually getting up to as high as the low 8s. And as you can imagine, what that did to buyers and sellers. As those rates started climbing, buyers just kept losing purchasing power. A lot of buyers were in shock. They did not want to buy any longer, so they fell out of the market, right? And then what does that do for sellers? Well, if you have a house to sell and you're a seller today, as soon as you sell that house, you're going to be a buyer. And not a lot of sellers were eager to get rid of their home to go pick up another home at the much higher interest rate. So as you can imagine, what that did to housing inventory supplies. Of course, it shrank down to all-time lows, and it was a really rough real estate market. But thankfully, towards the end of the year in December, the rates started tumbling, and they tumbled really quick, almost over 1% in a week. So then we were looking at rates ending up at the end of 2023 around the low 6s actually. So it was almost as low as 6 1/8 in my market. So with that surprising decline in interest rates towards the end of the year, it did have a nice little uptick in activity for buyers and some sellers that were able to get rid of their home when those interest rates became more favorable. So that's where the year ended up. So now we are in January 2024. And again, like I said, the rates today are exactly about the same spot they were a year ago. So we're still sitting towards 6.5 and 6.75, depending where you are. And right now, rates are kind of holding steady in this 6.5 range. So the prediction by a lot of the mainstream economists are predicting that the rates will continue to trend down. They'll drop little by little. And eventually, they hope that sometime this year, rates will be under 6%. So meaning in the 5s, right? And once we get to that point, what I think is going to happen to the real estate market is that a lot of buyers will start to swoop back in. And if you're a buyer and you're thinking right now, well, 5.5, that's not good enough. I mean, a couple of years ago, we were looking at the 3s and the 2s. Well, unfortunately, those 3s and 2s was a COVID discount, right? I don't think we're ever going to get back to that low of an interest rate, possibly in our lifetime, unless there's some kind of similar black swan event that engulfs the whole world again. So if we're able to make it to the 5s and the low 5s and maybe the high 4s, that itself would be a huge breath of relief for a lot of buyers out there trying to get a home right now. But as you can imagine, what happens if the interest rates were to drop and hit those percentages, right? Even 5.5, all the buyers would swarm back into the market. What do you think that's going to happen to the homes on the market at that point? Well, you will have bidding wars again. You will have buyers overbidding each other, waiving contingencies, and just battling it out to get the low amount of inventories on the home. So if you are in need of buying a home or you're thinking about buying a home, my advice to you is to prepare right now. Go ahead, talk to your loan officers that you know. If you don't know of any, talk to your realtor. Find a trusted realtor and ask them for referrals for their top loan officers. And once you get your pre-approval, then you are prepared, right? So it's better to be prepared for a potential opportunity where you see the home that you really want, rather than see that home and not be prepared and miss out on that opportunity. You'll end up kicking yourself. Okay, so that was my advice for buyers looking to buy pretty soon here. Now, what if you're a current homeowner and you're possibly thinking, should I sell my home? I want to go somewhere warmer. I want to move closer to family. I want to do something, right? I want to get out of this house. Well, should you possibly sell your home? Well, as those rates start dropping, of course, and the buyers start coming out in full force, they're creating bidding wars, they're waiving contingencies and things like that, the market is going to be red hot. It's going to be a prime seller's market. So what should you be doing right now to prepare for that? Well, you can start by decluttering your home and cleaning it to make it more presentable. And really, a lot of buyers shopping for homes just really appreciate a clean home. And of course, it has to be priced well. And so if you haven't checked on the value of your home recently, like in the past 3 to 6 months, then you should reach out to your trusted real estate professional if you have one and just ask them, hey, I'm thinking about possibly selling my home in the next 2-3 months or so. Would you have some time to come out, take a look at my home, give me some advice, and possibly what price range you think it would get in the market? And they would be more than happy to come out because, of course, they want to help you out. They want to help you list your home for sale and, of course, get you as much money as possible for that home. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for 2024. Now, as far as home prices, well, unfortunately, I don't think those prices are going to be coming down anytime soon. In fact, if anything, the home prices will continue to increase. And this is because of supply and demand. We are still severely undersupplied in the housing inventory, even at today's interest rates. And so as interest rates continue to fall, well, that means that buyers have more buying power. That means they got a little bit of extra money to overbid on some homes. And so they're going to cause home prices to increase ever so slightly. And of course, hopefully the lower interest rates will also incentivize homeowners right now to sell their homes, right? So that they will help with the lack of inventory in the housing market. So hopefully that does put more homes in the market, and that helps to kind of at least stabilize a little bit on the prices of homes, because again, it was pretty unaffordable at the higher interest rates. But as the interest rates do come down, it does again get more affordable for a lot of people looking to buy a home. I believe I saw a statistic that said if the rates get into the 5%, that basically allows another 5 million potential buyers to get back in the buyer's market here. And that's a huge amount of people. So that's what I think is going to happen for 2024's real estate market. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know what you think. Nobody is right or wrong because, again, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, how things are going to play out exactly. So have fun. Let's hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.